It's
better than ever
better
for
than ever.
2021, new and improved.
Well,
E.T.N. It's every Tuesday now.
I don't know if it's really new or improved,
No,
but it
it's
is
not.
here. Shouts to Greg, our Google judge. Greg is going to, well, he's not going to go home with it. He's going to have it delivered, make someone's day, or maybe make his own day. Maybe Greg sends it to himself. He's going to get a floral arrangement from our friends over at E.T.N. Flowers.
And if he's feeling down, send it to himself.
Send it to yourself. With like,
wow, who sent me flowers?
Greg, love what
nice
you do.
Gesture.
Sign,
what a nice
anonymous.
person must have done that.
Wow. Good morning, Greg.
Secret admirer.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning.
How are
Happy
you,
New
sir?
Year.
Happy
Thank
New
you.
Year.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. You ready to play? You know how the game goes, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So Beef will ask a question. Jeff and I will offer opinions. Greg will simply say winner Dan.
Or winner Jeff.
What?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Also an option.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
And we'll move on.
Trying to.
There we go.
Tends to be the more popular
Round
option.
one.
Not going to comment on that. Round one, guys. Yesterday, Shad Khan met with the media, was coy about the Urban Meyer rumors, but if you had to put a percentage of likelihood that Urban Meyer is the next head coach of the Jaguars, where do you feel it's at?
I think it's better than 50%. I think the ball's in his court. I think a lot has to do with his family. I think that he's going to get a lot of money if he wants to come here, and he'll provide some instant, credibility and when he walks through those doors in that building over there, and he'll be in there as the head coach and the guy in charge. I mean, everything will go through Herbs. Listen, if the health is okay, it's a dream scenario for any person, and I will allude to my friend Pete Prisco, who said, if you can't win in Jacksonville with the first pick, which would be Trevor Lawrence, a bunch of draft picks, a huge cap room, and some decent young players, then you can't win. So good luck to whoever takes it. But I think right now the ball's in his court.
I knew
in my
this.
opinion.
I knew this question was coming, and honesty may cost me the chance to win. I don't think either one of us can suppose whether or not he will take it. The bigger question is it a move that you want to make if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars? The only thing that concerns me about this would seem to be a really good field of candidates this go-round. I mean, whether you want to go for the established, proven winner, and we've detailed Marvin Lewis and Jim Caldwell and how consistently they put their teams in playoff, positioning. And, Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game. I pointed that out yesterday, but he never had Trevor Lawrence. He had Andy Dalton. So you've got those guys. You've got some up-and-coming assists. I mean, this Brian Daboll cat who's done wonders with the Bills, who's worked for both Belichick and Saban. You've got a very wide net you can throw, and the only concern I would have is we're already to the point that it's Urban's job if he wants it before we even sit down and hear from and really learn about the rest of what I think is a really talented field of candidates this go-round.
I kind of feel what Pete said is correct. It's his if he wants it. Winner Dan.
Round two.
Words that I love. Words that I love.
I mean, I guess the question is, since now the search is on, everybody says Urban is the clubhouse leader, it's his if he wants it. But if it's not Urban, who do you want?
I want the ability to get more of the information about who I'm hiring rather than hire off of independent columns being written by 40 different guys across the league. I need to be able to differentiate between Eric Bieniemy and Brian Daboll by getting to know and meet and look at them and not just go blatantly and blindly by what the stat sheet says and who they've worked for. That's never worked out. So, again, my gut tells me Daboll would be that guy. So if I had to take a guy sight unseen, just going on the research we've done about these various guys, it would be a guy who has developed Josh Allen to an MVP candidate, who has the Bills offense scoring 38 a game down the stretch, and who has worked for both Saban and Belichick in the past.
I'm intrigued by Meyer. I will continue to say that. So, listen, what I want is I want a winner. I want to win football games. I want to give, and sometimes you got to take a chance. Sometimes you got to roll the dice. Something we really haven't done around here, okay? So you don't just give the job to the interim guy. You don't just give the job to your friend. You find somebody who makes you a little bit uncomfortable. So you can convince me that real easily that this would be, a shot that this franchise needs to take. Look, we have not had success around here in a long time, so give me somebody who wins. And if he lasts for 5 years and he wins in those 5 years and then he leaves, I'm no problem. I'm all for it.
Winner, Jeff.
Round 3.
Round 3, it seems like all these think pieces that are ranking the jobs all have the Jaguars job as the best job of the, I believe, half dozen jobs that are open now. But in your opinion, after that, what's the next best gig for this carousel of coaches?
It's a great question, actually, Beef. It's probably the best
Thank you,
question
sir.
since Every Tuesday Now has come back
Thank
because
you,
there's
sir.
two avenues of thought, okay? The next best job is the Jets' job if you go by the comparisons to the Jags' job in terms of salary cap space and draft picks and decent young players. I mean, that's the next best job, okay? But and the worst job in those respects is probably Houston, except for you got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL already, and you can build around him. It's going to take some time. Bill O'Brien, what he did to Deshaun Watson is a crime. Okay, it's damn near criminal. But boy, oh boy, it's all fun and good to rebuild, but there's always that risk. In Houston, there's no risk. You know what you got. You got one great quarterback who led the NFL in passing yards this year and has really blossomed here in his time in the National Football League.
Oof, you better have a really patient owner, man. You got no offensive line. You've got no draft picks. And with that same quarterback under those scenario, you've got a team that picked third overall. I don't think you mentioned the one that's brightest, and that's the Los Angeles Chargers, who have the quarterback that we hope Trevor Lawrence becomes. I don't think it's even close. I think that the Los Angeles Chargers, the market size, the talent that they have. I mean, look on the defensive side of the ball between Derwin James, who's got to get over some nagging injury issues, Joey Bosa. No, the Chargers, to me, with a really good head coach, they win quick.
Yeah, I have to go with Jeff on that one.
What? Oh,
Round
no! 4. This is a pickle.
Round 4, it's pickle time, Dan.
It's all right.
Painted into a corner.
I've gotten up off the floor before, and I'll get up again.
I took a middle note that the terminology was had to.
Round 4, play a
Hurtful a little bit.
I'm going to play a cut here for you from Shad Khan's
Either
media
drink my urine or
yesterday, and then ask your question. Here's Shad yesterday with the media.
I think we have a great group of young players. Obviously, we're going to have an elite franchise quarterback. So you can't have a mindset, well, this is a rebuild and it's going to take time, etc. I mean, we have to have a mindset we're building for the long haul, but you have to be able to win at the same time.
I mean, do you agree? I mean, 1-15, you're not a good team, but do you agree with that sentiment? That
there's a couple things here.
Yes, sir.
I agree with much of what he said. But for a guy who's going to take a more active role as the be-all, end-all to the roster decisions, if you could play the very beginning of that clip again, please, Beef.
I think we have a great group of young players.
Okay, stop. Great is the first word that I would quibble with. Group, oof, does that mean more than two? No, I don't agree with the great group. You went 1-15. Now, I will say this. I think just a different coach, different mentality, different strategy, different eyes, the Jags would have been better than 1-15 this year. But look, the quarterback is the most important. If you get the generational guy, if it doesn't come next year, it will come in 2022. I believe that the Jags drafting Trevor Lawrence with a new qualified head coach are a playoff team by 2022. But as to a great group, yeah, not so much.
Beef, what's the question, please?
the question is, do you agree that there's talent there for a more rapid turnaround than maybe you would expect from 1-15?
Look, while I appreciate Shad Khan meeting with the media yesterday, and while I understand that needed to occur, the point of the matter is, and while we all get excited about the next head coach, and we've been down this road 1,000 times. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me.
Thought you might miss that.
I reserve the right to let you know down the road how this is going to go. Okay, Shad Khan, You got the con, sir, and you need to hit home runs. But the problem is, in your last 3 at-bats, you chased a bad curveball and swung right over it. So we need a home run. Close those eyes and swing mightily, sir, and hit one to deep center, and let's all be joyous. But, again, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there.
I agree with Dan.
Yes, you do. That's how
Welcome
you
to
do it.
round 5.
I talked
And
so long.
prepare to die.
I talked so long you can't remember what I said.
Woo!
It's a solid strategy. Round 5.
I mean, speaking of talking long, mister, take 20 seconds and let's go.
And then day 4.
Holy cow.
I mean, the
Lastly-
coaching job, he took all 6 teams. What was I left to do?
One other NFL thought outside of Jacksonville. The reacts keep pouring in. The
I
anger,
like Brian Dable.
the anger keeps pouring out.
I also like Marvin Lewis and Jim Caldwell. I tell you what, the Titans offensive coordinator, hell of a pick.
Beep, I think they're all great jobs.
That's what I'm dealing with here.
Who wouldn't want to coach the Lions?
Oh, God.
Following the Washington game against Philly on Sunday, the reacts keep pouring out.
Yeah.
A report out of the Philadelphia Inquirer says that, quote, many Eagles players and coaches were shocked and outraged by Doug Peterson removing Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Your guy, Joe Judge, Dan, said he would never, quote, disrespect the game in such a manner. I mean, are these reactions justified, or are we going overboard at this point?
Listen, man. We're getting, I know what's going to happen here, okay? But I'm just going to tell you the truth on this. And I know Greg is going to agree with me on this one, ladies and gentlemen, because, look, yes, the Giants only won 6 games. We all understand that. But come on, Philly. Hey, Peterson, I know you want to listen, you're a hated guy now. That was weak. It was weak. It was weak when you watched it. It felt wrong when you watched it. You're putting in a guy who hasn't played football in 3 years and who's, quite frankly, sucks. Sorry, Junie Bug. And Sudfeld. I mean, come on, man. Did you watch Sudfeld? You know who Sudfeld looked like? Sudfeld looked like that kicker for Tennessee, Sloman. That's who he looked like. So Joe Judge is just putting that message out, not so much to it. That's for his players. That's called coaching, and that's what he did. What Philly did was wrong. I'm sorry. It was wrong.
This is just unbelievable to
Yeah.
me. I have never disagreed more with a statement than the coach of a 4-10-1 football team playing a third-string quarterback in a game they're not winning if they keep. Can I remind everyone, Jalen Hurts was 7 of 20 for 72 yards? I mean, you could make an argument louder that you should scream to replace him with the ball boy if that's the kind of day that he's going to give you. The Giants won 6 games, so if Joe Judge could reserve his bitterness for, I don't know, the 0-5 start where you blew a lead at Dallas and lost by 3, or maybe don't start 1-7 and then worry about what the fourth quarter of a meaningless game between 2 teams both under 500, how it affects you. Where's the outrage over the poor Cleveland Browns who are going to be impacted by Ben Roethlisberger playing? Where's the outrage over you? This is, by the way, the same guy who offers up that the Jags messed up by beating the Colts and giving them luck. This is just the overreaction to me has been too loud.
I know Greg's got me here.
Well, I have to agree that it is an overreaction. Winner, Jeff.
Yeah, it's again.
What?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen.
What in the hell?
Despite the pandering.
What is wrong?
Despite-
you say it's me.
despite the
it's
edge.
you guys,
They
ladies and
tried.
gentlemen. There's no integrity from my
tried
colleague.
to
There's
stack-
no integrity
they
from
tried
Greg.
to stack the
what
deck
the hell
against
is
me,
wrong
Guggen.
with these
week
guys?
after week
what
after
are we
week.
talking about?
They build the wall
What
higher.
is this?
And I come
I will not
crashing
take
through
a
it.
loss in
week
2021.
after week after week.
No, sir.
I am Thor.
No, sir.